Yo, 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 yo. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Max and Juan cast. Sunday night. Max, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good one. I had a stressful day, but I'm doing good.
Oh, poor
Doing
fucking
good.
you. Poor little
Yeah, it is.
Max. You know,
Correct.
look at me. My name is Max. My fucking team makes it to the playoffs almost every year, and we're a contender. Fucking Snow Quan Barkley. Yeah, fucking suck it,
Snow
Max.
Quan Barkley. That's a good one. I mean,
uh
I'm just jealous of you, dude. You don't have any horse in this fight, and it must be nice.
I fucking hate you. I hate the Eagles. Honestly, I was rooting so hard against the Eagles today, bro.
I know you're a Ram fan. We've talked about it.
I mean, I'm more of a money fan, you know. I wanted my money to hit, but hey, it was a great weekend. Today was great. You know what else is great? Our channel, bro. That's why you guys should subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Like this video, comment down below any thoughts, opinions that you guys have. Welcome to divisional round. Thoughts, opinions,
Recap.
recap, all the way around, bro. Look, first takeaway, Max. What do you have for the weekend, for Saturday, Sunday, whatever? What's your biggest takeaway from these games?
I think stadiums without a roof in bad conditions are dumb. Without a roof are dumb. I stand by that. I think it's $1 billion industry. We let the outcome of these games get sometimes decided by weather. You could easily make the case that was a theme for Sunday. Mark Andrews fumble, Kyron Williams fumble. Eagles arguably win this game because of turnovers. Bills do the same thing. And then on the other side, on Saturday, we have a massive upset. We have Mr. Cool Calm Collected Jane Daniels. And then we have the Chiefs, who are a juggernaut, who are seemingly poised to go back to the Super Bowl. They have home field. We know we've seen this recipe, right? We don't know what it looks like.
Yeah.
So it was a good weekend of football, better than wild card, I would say, in terms of games. But I mean, there's a lot of storylines to take away, and I think the true storylines are going to just get washed under the mainstream narratives, which we always try to push back on, just because I guess we look at the game differently. If you're someone who wants to just give the quarterback 100% blame, 100% credit, that's cool.
Right.
That's not me. That's not you. So I think that's going to be something to take away from this game, from these games.
Well, look, let's get the elephant out of the room. I know what game you're most likely talking about. It's the one that we just got done finishing up. Ravens and Bills. Look, this game was really I really did feel like the Bills dominated a good portion of this game on both sides of the ball. Um,
The first half, yeah, for sure.
yeah, and they kind of came out with the mentality that I was right about. Like they were gonna come out and they were gonna run the football. Josh Allen had under 100 yards passing all the way up until like late in the third quarter. So mindset was run the ball. They were able to run the ball, and then turnovers. Turnovers were a big part. Uh, the Lamar Jackson fumble, the Mark Andrews fumble, uh, those two came into
Lamar's
play.
interception.
Lamar's interception, um, a lot of things, bro. And I come back from that game with really one thing. I know that the Ravens had, like, obviously the shot at the end and Andrews dropped the ball, but I really thought it was gonna be bad for the Bills, the fact that they didn't run the tush push on third down. I was kind of
Yeah,
I was kind
I
of
didn't like
and
that,
it was weird because we didn't really see it all day today. The Philly was gonna run it and then they had a false start. But as
which was
many
bullshit.
yeah,
It was it
as
was it
many
was
as many times as I seen these three teams run it, I didn't see it nearly as much this weekend. It was fucking crazy.
well, I think when Jalen Hurts suffered the leg injury, they were like, we're kinda gonna go away from it," and obviously he finished the game, but yeah, I don't know why. You have Josh Allen, who's one of the best at it, and they don't really do a tush push like the Eagles. It's kinda like, let him pick a spot, then we can push that strong SOB through the hole,
Yeah,
and I agree with you, it was a mistake not to do it.
yeah,
I was under the impression, I was like, it's to me to my in my mind, I was like, "They're gonna go score, they're gonna get 2,
yeah.
and then Josh Allen's gonna go down and get 3." That's how I saw the game playing out, and I really don't know how you can blame Lamar. Did he play his A-plus game? Absolutely not. He said it himself. We had too many turnovers. I'm tired of this crap. He can be mad at himself as well as Mark Andrews. I don't think Mark Andrews has fumbled like the last 4 seasons, but Lamar's interception was bad, even though nothing really came of it. And then his fumble was I think that was the worst turnover they had, in my opinion. I
Yeah.
know Andrews was like, oh my God, but they recovered, right? That one, they could have got points on the board. And one, I would just want to add this. I mean, it's like we talk about with coaches in basketball. All you can do is drop the right play. Lamar, all he can do is throw the ball. Once the ball's in the air, is it up to him on what happens?
No.
No.
It was the right play call. It was the right play call. It was the right pass. Nothing was wrong with it. It's a mixture of elements. It's a mixture of bad luck. It's a mixture of Mark Andrews' concentration, all the way around, bro. Like, it's just shit happens. It's unfortunate that it happens because we're gonna wake up tomorrow and we're gonna hear numerous podcasts, talk shows, Instagram reels, TikTok, the whole fucking nine talk about Lamar can't get the job done. Lamar can't get the job done. And that's just simply
It's no,
not.
the Ravens couldn't get the job done.
Yeah.
And if you want to criticize the Ravens, I think again when they kind of got away from the run. The third quarter was so dominant, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Buffalo's in deep shit."
Yeah.
See, now I will say this: in that Mark Andrews turnover, I did think it gave Buffalo some momentum back. I think Baltimore's going to go score that drive where he fumbled. I'm like, "Oh, they're going to go score."
Mhm.
And again, they didn't even come back out in the under center heavy run stuff. They were like, "Oh, we're just gonna, we'll pass it a little bit." But Derrick Henry didn't get the ball enough again. To me, I don't know.
Yeah, it was a lot of Justice Hill today, even though Hill played, pretty well. He had some good
Yeah, I,
spurts. But those
I just
times,
think, yeah,
those
I'm with you. Go ahead.
those times when Hill's in the game and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go pass heavy," I feel like they're kind of wasting Derrick Henry at that point. Like I feel like they need to keep on with him. It's one of those things. It's kind of like with the Eagles. It's gonna pop. At some point, it's gonna pop. And that's how you got to think of it with Derrick Henry. And I think it's a mixture of Lamar getting a little antsy at times, you know. I just think I think the Bills kind of just beat them at their own fucking game, bro. Like we came into this game thinking the way that the Bills looked with the run game and getting turnovers was the way that we looked at the Ravens winning this game. And you got to give credit to Buffalo as far as using their committee. Like all three running backs ran so fucking good today. James Cook, Ray
Yeah.
Davis, and Johnson. All of them had great fucking
Let
runs.
me ask you this: if you were going to put your using your perspective, and of course your answer could be different, would you say Baltimore won this game? So excuse me, Baltimore lost this game, or the Bills won it?
I would say obviously the the Ravens lost this game. I would say. Just because the turnovers.
This is what worries me about the Bills one. I understand like the turnovers they had. I don't look at like, oh, that's replicable, right?
Mhm.
Like, how do you explain the interception Lamar had? It was all Lamar. It wasn't like you pressured him, you forced him into a tight throw he had to make.
The Mark
No,
Andrews
Mark,
turnover was nice. That one was nice.
yeah. Do it again. It's like you're kind of like, well, the conditions were snow and kind of like Lamar. He doesn't really fumble that much when he's doing that crap. It's
Yeah.
kind of rare for him to do that.
Yeah.
So I guess this would be the thing I would say, Juan. If on one side of the coin, if you're a Bills fan, you're like, yo, Josh Allen, we won this game and Josh Allen didn't do that much. Like that's how good we played. And then on the other side, you could be like, is that really a recipe they can repeat? The defense, that is. Because for moments, the defense looked like the same old Bills that get shredded. And it worried me. It worried me. So where would you land on that side of it? Was it this is like you can replicate this, or do you look at the other side? So which side would you lean on if you were gonna
I think
think about it?
most definitely. I think this is the best that the Bills' offensive line and run game has looked in the Josh Allen era.
Mm, I
That's
would agree.
something you can lean on. I think we have so much data and proof that like this is a real thing, and it's a committee back. Whether it's James Cook, Johnson, or Ray Davis, they can run the fucking football, and I think that's gonna lean into next week's game against Kansas City. they're going to be able to run the ball. The defensive part, it's going to be tough. I think it's a mixture today of like injuries, like when the Ravens started going down the field, like Johnson got hurt, Taylor Rapp got hurt, key players, that barely just came back and they're already getting hurt. So the defensive side, I don't expect them to get 3 turnovers today, like for next week against Kansas City. So that's going to be hard to replicate. But I think both quarterbacks played pretty good in the conditions that they were in. And Lamar came back from some pretty crazy stuff. Like he gave his team a chance to win the game. And Josh Allen did his thing. It's 2 quarterbacks dueling it out. It's 2 head coaches really dueling it out. It was a phenomenal game, bro. It's just in
It
football,
was.
one
Yeah.
team has to come up out on top. And I don't think anyone got outplayed today. I don't think one team wasn't outclassed by the fucking slightest.
No. This was just a game of the Ravens beat themselves, I would say, more than not to say the Bills didn't play well. I'm just saying one team hurt themselves and the Bills took care of the ball. And it's hard to win when you're -3 in the turnover battle. It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah. And
Um,
are you good with Bills and Ravens?
yeah, I want to talk about the Chiefs next, just because I have a segue and I have like a kind of a not a segue, but I have like something I want to kind of tie together with. I have a little thing about Mahomes, Allen, and Lamar. So I'd like to hit this game because it'll be the quickest game we talk about.
Yeah.
Refs are paid.
So
In
we
your words.
so we got Texans and Chiefs. Chiefs wind up coming out
No,
with
the
the win.
Texans versus the NFL, I think, was the more appropriate.
Texans
title.
versus the NFL. Look, man. To me, this game came down to 3 things.
Get the ref shit out. Let's just get it out.
Look,
Get
it was
out
3
real quick.
things. 1, the refs were terrible. They got all the calls. You could not touch
not
Patrick
just
Mahomes.
terrible. They were favored. Like they were favored towards one side.
Yes.
I mean, I don't see how you can even argue it. I'm not saying that's why the Texans lost, but it's a factor in why, right? We can agree.
Yes. Number 2, the way that they started off this game was so fucking bad. You couldn't have started the game off worse against the Kansas City Chiefs. You
Kinda
basically
like the Packers last week. It's like
yeah.
when you fumbled the opening kickoff
off a fucking like
ugh.
6-string receiver who's having the fucking temper tantrum of his fucking life on the sidelines, pushes the special teams coach. That dude should get fucking cut immediately, by the way. And number 3, their kicker couldn't fucking hit water out of a fucking boat on Saturday. He could not make a fucking kick for his life. You combine all 3 of those things, I feel like that's why they lost. They ran the ball good. I felt like Nico Collins came out to play. CJ Stroud made some plays. Did they come up short in the red zone? Yes, but those field goals were so big. The Chiefs only scored 1 touchdown, I believe. Oh, no, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I think they
2 touchdowns.
Yeah, they scored 2, but 1 was off. I
Turnover.
think it was like another short field when they went for it and they didn't get it.
Yeah.
I would add this in one. We really saw the lack of depth at receiver for Houston. Like we really saw like they were missing Diggs, they were missing Tank Dell. They don't have it. Hutchinson's not the guy. The Texans lost the game where they outgained their opponent by 100 yards. They didn't turn the ball over and they lost. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
And I think it's the first time it's happened. Teams have been 49-0 or 50-0 or something like that. But
Yeah.
Texan fans, I think you're still a little bit away. This is another good year. CJ Stroud, for as bad stretches he had, I think he played well in this game, but they just came up short. Kansas City's a machine, and it really doesn't help when the refs are giving them phantom roughing the passer calls. That just break the defender's back. And then you have Mahomes like scamper for 15. And I'll say this, Mahomes, you're one of my favorite players in the NFL. Stop with the flopping shit because I'm going to start hating you. Stop flopping. Sliding late is not his fault. That he just slid late. But the flop out of bounds, come on.
Dude, I just feel like at this point, they need to do something about it. You need to have a flag on the offensive player for doing some shit like that. Because God forbid the game is altered anywhere for the fucking defensive player.
But it's weird because Lamar got tackled out of balance. He got tackled.
Mm-hmm.
It was late, and they were like, "Oh, it's
nothing.
It's not Mahomes.
It's nothing. Yeah,
gives a fuck."
Like part of it, Mahomes is just doing how the rules are constructed. Like he's abusing it. He knows when to go down, when to flop. Like he fucking sells it. And to me though, it's like they need to go back in the offseason this year and be like, we need to do something about this.
Well,
It's
maybe
getting
not a rule
ridiculous.
change, but like a point of emphasis is really
Yes.
it's kind of reminds me of the when the Bears played the Lions and Caleb was getting like smacked. But it's like you're in bounds. You can get smacked. It's legal.
Yeah.
No big deal. And I think when it comes to Mahomes, it's like anytime he's even on the cusp, they're like, oh, okay, we're gonna give it to him.
Look, I think
Like
the simplest
it's
way
like a
to
superstar call in basketball. That's what it is. He gets all those.
the simplest way to take it away, Max, is have more of an emphasis on instant replay. Be able to change the call. I don't care about this
Yeah.
shit. Oh, it was already thrown. It's on the ground. That's it.
Yeah,
No,
I
just
hate they
change
have
it.
expedited reviews for like 10% of the shit. I
Yeah.
hate that.
You review fucking everything else. You should be able to review that because it's a big difference in the game. It's a
Yeah,
game-changing
it
fucking
is.
penalty.
Yeah, and we always talk about wanting more review, and especially the expedited review, which we both agree is done well when it's used.
Yeah.
But one, how about when the Eagles do the tush push? How many defenders line up in the neutral zone that play for that play?
Everyone.
All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't call it, and then they're like, oh, well. See, there's just no consistency, and it's just get it right. That's all we want as fans. Get it
Yeah.
right.
But
And it's just
with all that said, the Chiefs came out and did their thing. I'm kind of worried about it. Honestly, I don't think their offense looked all that good. I think
no.
they had two guys really come out to play. Like Travis Kelce was just wide open, it seemed like every fucking play. Hollywood Brown was nowhere to be found. Every time he got open, he would drop the ball. The run game wasn't all that good. Will Anderson was taking Joe Thuney out to the fucking woodshed all game. Joe Thuney was playing left tackle. He was getting destroyed all fucking game. But the Chiefs are the Chiefs. Mahomes is Mahomes, and they find a way to get it done. And second of all, and probably most importantly, Steve Spagnuolo had another great fucking game. At the end of that game in the fourth quarter, like the last two drives, he blitzed the Texans like 12 straight times in a row and destroyed them. And that's why the
Yes.
Chiefs usually win games.
And the Texans did that thing on that big fourth down where like they got up to the line late. They just hiked it, and they just like they don't even get a chance. I'm like, this play has no chance. You're not even gonna get it. And then it's like, it's not just like, oh, we turn it over on the 40. It's like, oh, we just took a 20-yard sack. And then we just gave them the ball back. So we just gave them basically imagine a great punt return, starting in their guaranteed 3. And thank God Spagnuolo, for the Chiefs side, he's in that rare thing like Fangio, where no one will ever consider him for a head coaching job again. So he can just be their awesome D coordinator. They never lose, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what you really want out of a coordinator. You want him to be just like, you want him to go fail as a coach and then come back and you're like, we'll never have to lose him.
Yeah.
Like that's really the key, right? Because Spagnuolo will never coach again, like a head coach, right? We agree.
Yeah. It's going to be the same thing probably with McDaniels. If McDaniels comes back with Vrabel and he does amazing, it's like, all right, he's going to be in line for one of those guys like, you're never being a head coach. You're a coordinator for life. That's what you are.
And you're awesome at it.
Yeah. Your point that you wanted to make after this game, what was it?
Okay. So in the AFC, we were talking about legacies this weekend with Dak, and we are talking about Mahomes and Allen and Jackson. And I kind of wanted to make a comparison to tennis. You know how much I love tennis. I know you don't know much about it, but maybe you've heard of the big 4/big 3 in tennis. I don't know. Have you ever heard of those 3 athletes?
Federer is one, right?
Federer, yep. Nadal. And Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer. These 3 guys redefined tennis. Redefined it. They won more of the big tournaments, right? Australian Open, Wimbledon, US Open, French Open, than anyone else. They set the record all by themselves, right? Like the record was like 13 majors. Each of them won 20 plus. See, that's ridiculous, right? And all in the same era.
Yeah.
We have that in Baltimore, Buffalo, and Kansas City. We have 3 all-time great quarterbacks killing each other, and it's going to harm each other's legacy. I know it hasn't hurt Mahomes yet, but I'm telling you, this isn't just like the NFC, because as much as we love the NFC one, we know where all the good quarterbacks are.
Yeah.
What, 4 out of the top 5 arguably are in the AFC.
Yeah, most of them are in the AFC.
And I just want to point this out, because in terms of legacy, and I'm gonna bet money that Allen and Jackson will one day beat Mahomes. They will beat him. It could happen next week. These 3 guys are the best at their positions. I think they're all going to be up there for all-time greats when that's all said and done, regardless of rings. And they're just all in the same conference, just killing each other. Because what is this one? It's what, the 4th straight year of Chiefs Bills, or Chiefs Ravens, or Bills Ravens.
Well, yeah. Who was the last quarterback to be in the AFC
Burrow.
Championship? Well, Burrow. I would put Burrow in that little.
Yeah,
4.
Burrow's in there too.
Yeah. So besides
Tannehill?
Burrow, who has it been? So it's been Lamar, Burrow, or Allen, right? The last 5 years, probably since Brady.
Yeah, pretty much. Trying to think who did the Titans make an AFC Championship game that one year? Tannehill was there?
I don't think so. I don't think it was them. I think that was the Bills year.
No, I thought with the year before they were the 1 seed, they made it. But regardless, my point is, those 3 guys, like Federer, Djokovic thing, they each have 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine they didn't exist in the same time. Say they had 20-year gap. They each have 50.
Yeah.
And I think we can agree, if Allen's not there, I think Josh Allen and Lamar would have a Super Bowl. And I don't think Mahomes is just this quarterback that's so above those 2 where they don't have a shot. I think they're literally in the same tier of quarterback for terms of talent and ability on the field. Now, the Chiefs have been the best organization of the 3. And I just want to point out, just think about it in those terms, because I hate to do the legacy stuff. You know how much I hate, oh, Brady's the best. He has the most Super Bowls. Okay, that's awesome. Nothing else matters. Doesn't matter how good he is, right? It just matters he won. And it's a team sport until we talk about quarterbacks, it seems like. So that was my little parallel I wanted to draw. I don't know if you liked it. It's up to you.
And look, it's hard because both of us are not one of those guys. I think it's, the conversation gets really into it when you have a person that comes on here and says, well, I guess Lamar can't get the job done. That's when you're like, come on, dude. A lot of these guys are so young. Lamar's 28. He's not even 30 yet. Josh is young.
They're all under 30.
Yeah, they're all under 30. They've all been to big games. They've all made big plays. They've all had big games. Both of those guys have big games today. I don't think any of them have got outclassed or look like they didn't belong there in any sort or way or fashion. It's hard, bro. It's really hard. Football is the ultimate team sport. Football is one of the only sports that, out of the major ones, basketball, baseball, and football, is a 1-game elimination. And this is not a 7-game series. The best team doesn't always win. On any given Sunday, on any given Saturday or Monday now, any team can fucking win. And that brings me to our next subject, the Washington Commanders, who beat the Detroit Lions, who did the impossible, it seemed like, because we even said it. They were the biggest dog of the weekend. And I don't want to say that me and Max called it on the money, saying that the Commanders were going to win. But when we brought up, hey, let's talk about the scenario that the Commanders win this game. And we said, it's the Lions throwing it away. It's the Lions' self-inflicted wounds. It's Jared Goff having a 4-interception game, a crazy turnover game. And that's exactly what happened.
In everyone's defense, you did say 5 interceptions. He only threw 3.
There you go.
But I guess J-Mo's counts for his total. We'll put J-Mo's there.
Yeah.
So he had 5 turnovers. I don't want to say we were completely right. I think a lot of people could make that case.
Right.
This is how Detroit's going to lose. But we were kind of leaning we could see it happening a little bit more than we thought, I guess, would be the way. And we said, Commanders have nothing to lose. That no one cares about them.
They played loose.
Now there's an expectation, hey, they could beat the Eagles. They already beat the Eagles once. You know what I'm saying? Now, as an Eagle fan, I'd be so scared if we beat them twice and be because beating them that 3rd time is the worst thing ever.
Right.
So the Commanders came in there, and we talked about this, and I think we should reiterate. Jaden Daniels played a great game. He was not the reason they won this one, guys. He is a big factor in why. But if you're giving out a game ball to one player or one group, you're going to say, oh, all the quarterbacks get the game ball. The defense gets the game ball. They created so many turnovers and gave the offense the ability to go 3 and out a couple times. Because I thought Detroit was kind of carving them up. Detroit had a lot of yards.
Yeah.
But Mike Sanger still pick. The dude who had the pick 6 right before half, the fumble on Jared Goff in the red zone, like those take points off the board. Detroit easily lost 10 guaranteed points.
Yeah.
In my mind, 10 guaranteed points.
And that's the recipe to beat Detroit is turnovers. You have to make them pay. You have to make Jared Goff pay. And Jared Goff just did not play a good game, bro. At all. I think a lot of the interceptions were almost all his fault. Honestly, there were bad decisions. Not really thinking about, hey, this is before the half. Let's not throw an interception here. It was ultra aggressive, but that's the nature of Detroit. Like they're gonna live and die like that. They've been doing it all year. There wouldn't be any different. And this is the time where I'm gonna bring up something that probably people are surprised that we haven't brought up yet. Did they have a lot of injuries? Yes, 100%. They had a lot of injuries. Amik Robertson got hurt within like the first series of the game, broke his arm.
His arm in
half. It was a bad look.
Terrion
Arnold is just not ready. I'm going to take the L on that one. Max is going to take the dub in the draft process. He looked like a guy who Max described in the draft process where he cannot play man coverage. He holds so much and he's undisciplined, especially on the Jaden Daniels 4th down, which was a crucial play of the game. He's a deer in headlights.
Such a bonehead. He wasn't even looking. I'm like, oh my God, how do you not at least like look at him, right? Because they ran him a lot. Jaden Daniels had 16 carries.
Yeah.
And there were some designed runs. I was like, oh my God, you're not winning that game. And also when, the receiver throws the pick, you're like, just eat it.
Yeah.
And I know both of us, I know you already told me, you were like, I knew he was throwing it. That was
Max texted me after that Jameson Williams pass, and he was like, hey, were you screaming at the TV for him not to throw it? And I was like, yeah, but I kind of knew he was going to throw an interception when I seen him running with the ball. Yeah. How many times do you think Ben Johnson told his ass, like, hey, if it's not there, throw it away, please?
Yeah.
But J-Mo, I mean,
he was like, I could fit this bitch in there.
Yeah, that's J-Mo for you. He's going to play with a lot of fucking, energy and going to want to make plays. Look.
Passion.
Yeah. I know you want to give credit to the defense. You're absolutely right, but in all honesty, man, like this was a full fucking team win. I think
it was 100%.
Like the line blocked good. I think something that's underrated, the coaching. The coaching was so fucking good. Dan Quinn coached his ass off. And you know what? I want to give a big props to a guy who gets a lot of fucking flack and everyone makes fun of, including us. Cliff Kingsbury. Big fuck you to everyone that ever put any dirt on his name. He called a hell of a game. He's stuck to his guns. They know who they are. And that's the beauty of it. It's like they play so comfortable, so poised because they know who they are. They're not trying to be someone who they're not.
I think Ben Johnson coached like a B+ game. I would honestly say like maybe an A because there was so much stuff on the field.
Right.
Cliff was A+. Dan Quinn, I'm just going to count him as a DC. He did like a B+ game.
Yeah.
Aaron Glenn had a bad game called. I don't think he played too much man coverage with those corners, and they were just getting gat. Every 4th and short, they're like, yeah, let's do a little pick, shallow crosser, no chance.
Yeah.
Like wide open. It wasn't like, oh, Jaden Daniels had to put it in there perfectly. It was like, oh, and Terry McLaurin's wide open.
Yeah.
Hey, we have the perfect play called against this aggressive look where we have one blocker, and then all we need is Terry McLaurin to make one person miss. I was like, oh, of course. Yeah, you like those odds.
Yeah.
You like those odds.
And this gives a lot of go ahead.
No, so I just want to tip my hat to the GM and the ownership because we talked about this. this team had so many players that we were like, damn, we're signing everybody, like every mid guy you could think of. Jeremy Chin, Frankie Louvu, Wagner, O linemen, receivers, tight end, Zach Ertz. Like, that's whatever. Zach Ertz. Yeah, I haven't heard from him since the Super Bowl. But just tip my hat to how they built their team and how they're playing. And they got a chance to go. Absolutely, they can win that game in Philly.
Yeah. Look, big kudos to them. Kind of stole the words out of my mouth, you know, the Adam Peters thing. And it just goes to show you a lot of NFL teams around the league, you know, you're one head coach and a GM away from turning things around.
No, more importantly, you're one owner.
I think that's you know what, Max? I'm glad
owner.
I'm glad that you brought that up because I do think this is one of the most unique situations in the league as far as like I think this should scream out that owner is probably the biggest fucking thing that you can fucking change for a franchise.
Yeah, I think you could win with a bad coach. You can win with the bad quarterback. You can't win with a bad owner.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you can't win games, but you can't be a serious franchise with the dumb owner.
Yeah.
You know it better than I do. You have kind of an owner who is a joke in NFL circles amongst the fan base.
Yeah.
I'm sure if Dak was on the podcast as a Cowboy fan, he would be, I mean, I can speak for him. We're not winning until Jerry's gone.
Yeah.
And the fan base feels that. And you know what? The players feel it too. You hear it. It's not like the players don't hear people talking that stuff.
Well,
they don't go on Instagram
guy,
and never see stuff.
The Walmart guy is perfect. They stay the fuck out of the way. They stay out of the way. They hire the people to do the football things. That's the main. Everyone trying to be Al Davis. Everyone wants to be Al Davis. You know what's the difference? Half of you fucking owners have never sniffed what Al Davis has ever done. You've never been a coach. You've never been a player. None of that shit. Al Davis was a commissioner, a coach, a player, all types of shit. And that's the problem with a lot of these teams' owners is they want to be so fucking involved with it. Just hire the right people.
But you get it though, right? You get it though. I'm like, if you spend $8 billion, I mean, yeah, do you? I mean,
I guess.
You can't do it.
I mean, it's a fucking toy to them. It's a toy. I want to play with my toy.
If you buy something for $800 and I'm like, you shouldn't do that one, you'd be like, fuck you. I can do whatever I want with this thing.
They look at it like a toy. It's their fucking $3 billion toy, whatever how much he fucking paid for the Commanders. But hey, look, hats off to them. They hired the right people. They're in the NFC Championship, dude. They're playing with house money. They're playing amazing. I know everyone wants to give all the credit to Jaden Daniels. It's a fun story. He's a rookie, and yes, he's playing poised as fuck. But look around at the players that they have, guys. A lot of these dudes are phenomenal, elite players. They just don't get the credit that they deserve because they've never been on winning teams. Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen have been dogs since they stepped foot on a football field. It's just now that they're on a winning team, they're getting
Bobby
recognized.
Wagner's been the most underrated player in the NFL last 3 years.
Yes.
He kind of got a little old.
Frank Louvu.
He's really good still.
Frank Louvu was in Carolina making plays last year. They just sucked. He couldn't. He wasn't recognized.
And I want to say this too, one, like you said, you said it best. It was a team effort. It was the offense. It was the defense. It was the coordinators on both sides of the ball and the head coach.
Yeah.
There's nothing they did where I was like, I take that back. Going for the first fourth down, I'm cool doing it. Better play than that bullshit. Better play.
Yeah.
Because if that's the way you're going to play and you've got to this point, you got to keep doing it. But that's a stupid play.
So
I can agree that.
Yeah, 100%. So before we move on to Philly and LA, this is the team I really wanted to hit on because Baltimore, they got Lamar. They're pretty young. They'll be fine. They're gonna be back for more. Same thing with the Texans. They got injuries. They got CJ. I think they're gonna be all right. Now the Lions. There's a lot of change coming up. They might lose 2 coordinators, right? Potentially. What do you do with Jared Goff? Where do you go from here with Detroit after this loss?
It's not a blow it up situation where you're like, oh, we can't win with Jared Goff, because I believe they could win. I will say this: losing coordinators, I felt it personally last year. It's not easy, especially Ben Johnson. Those guys don't come around often. And I feel the same way about Aaron Glenn. I will say this: I fight back on the narrative. Dan Campbell's a bad coach because he's just aggressive and he goes for it and he's not X and O's. He gives them a mentality.
Yeah. No
He
one
gives
says
the
that
guys
shit
the
when they
belief.
fucking win.
Yeah, he empowered both guys, the coordinators. He empowered both coordinators. No one remembers them. We should play our video where they were calling for Aaron Glenn's head,
Yes.
and Dan Campbell stuck by him. So it's not over, but I will say this: if I'm Detroit and next year I have a mid-year, let's say they go 6-11, there's injuries again, and it's kind of, or they go 9-8 and they don't make the playoffs, right? Because they're in a tough division, tough conference, whatever. I definitely look to replace Jared Goff and get someone in there who's cheap that allows me to keep the team I've built. Because what we don't talk about with Jared Goff, one is when he got traded there, it wasn't like all the money was on their books. The Rams took a huge cap hit for him.
Yeah.
I know they took one for Stafford, but it wasn't as bad as the Rams. So that's why they were like, here's 2 first-round picks and Jared Goff.
Yeah, because
For
that
Stafford.
window's gonna start closing. Aiden Hutchinson getting close to
It's coming up.
payday. Jameer
Ali McNeil
Gibbs.
got just extended. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a lot of these guys
And
are getting close to getting paid now. J-Mo, another guy that's contract might be up in a
and
year or
and
two.
we talked about this with the Niners. What made the Niners with Jimmy G such a good team was their team. It wasn't the quarterback.
Yeah.
And Jared Goff is much better than Jimmy G ever was. I don't mean to make that comparison, but what I'm saying is you've made Jared Goff succeed by building a amazing team around him. And if it cost you Jared Goff to keep an amazing team, I would pay that price. I wouldn't sign Jared Goff to a huge deal, and then I have to lose my left guard, my center, a tight end, 3 good defenders, all to pay the quarterback. I wouldn't do it if I was them.
Yeah.
And I think it's something to look at. And Jared Goff had an amazing year. To me, they can win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff with their team in current state.
Yeah.
With the roster they have.
Yeah.
Now there's questions with the coordinators, but we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah.
Because you never know. They could stay. You never know.
Yeah. I think best case scenario for the Lions is they keep one out of the two, whether or not it's Aaron Glenn or Ben Johnson. It looks like Ben Johnson is probably going to be the one to leave and Aaron Glenn will probably be the one to stay. Regardless, though, I don't think the alternative right now from Jared Goff to someone else is it's unreasonable. Like who are you going to sign? Who are you going to draft?
Yeah,
What, are you going to get Sam Darnold?
Exactly.
The same fucking shit?
No.
The guy that you guys just destroyed?
Correct.
I don't think there's a guy out there. We'll see what happens. I think it says a lot, too, about the team where if they get rid of Goff, I think that sends a huge message to the team. Like,
which I don't believe they will. And we've heard how the people talked about him. All the linemen were like, we go to fight for this guy. Right. This is my quarterback.
Yeah, because if you get rid of him, Max, at that point, as a team, you're like, what the fuck, bro? Like, this guy brought us to all these wins, and after one fucking game, we're going to trash him? What the fuck? So, I don't think they're going to get rid of him. I think they're going to be back strong. We'll see what happens. I don't, if they have another year like this next year, that's when I'm going to start saying, like, you know what? This is going to be tough. This is where you need a guy like Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, where you can be able to take these hard, tough loss blows, bro, because you can't do that.
And if I was Jared Goff too, I would be like, let me just take a little bit less money. Be a quarterback, take $20 million and just keep the team, and that gives you the chance. Because if you got to pay Jared Goff big money, it's over.
Yeah. Because look at the Niners. The Niners were one of those teams where championship windows open, and then the losses start piling up. Those runs start piling up. Lions are going to win 14 games next year, and they're going to lose in the first round again. Fuck, we got to do this all over. It's going to be tough,
correct.
Bro. I feel like only like you said, the big three, that's when those guys come in handy, and it's like, it don't matter what fucking team, we're going to fucking get there. All right. Anything else on the Lions or the Commanders, Max?
No, you've made me wait 40 minutes to talk about my team.
It's only right. All right. So, look, Philadelphia Eagles and Saquon Barkley. I heard it today. I thought it was amazing. Shout out to Nate Burleson.
That's a good one.
Beat the LA Rams in a fucking snow globe game. Fucking classic snow globe game.
So dumb.
It was so fucking dumb. Crazy. It was good. I thought it was cool to look at on TV. I always like watching games like that. I think it looks fucking cool.
Yeah,
Um,
I bet you would love to play in it too. Oh
fuck
wait,
it.
you'd hate it.
No, fuck it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll probably hate playing it as like a corner, but lineman, fuck yeah, sign me up. Anyway, Rams get the loss. I think this game came down to a simple turnover, man. I do think it came down to that Kyron Williams turnover, and maybe that Saquon Barkley run. I think that put the nail in the
What did I
coffin.
say? What did I say?
Yeah, if you guys watched our last one of our previews, Max called it. He told me Kyron Williams gonna put that ball on that ground.
I screamed at the TV when it happened. I said, and this is the quotes, and you're probably gonna make this into a short. I'm gonna look stupid, but whatever. I fucking told you, Juan. I told you he was gonna put it on the fucking ground. I love you, Kyron, but I know you fucking love fumbling. You love it.
Oh
He got like
man,
9 fumbles, but that changed the game. Then the ball like went 100 miles per hour right into Isaiah Rogers' hands, and
yeah.
we didn't score a touchdown. It was awesome.
I
Or
really
maybe we
do
scored
think
a touchdown.
I really do think the Rams had a really good game plan going in there. They made one mistake on offense. They didn't go to the hurry up sooner.
Correct. Well, no, I want to push back because I feel like that game. I thought the game was like we're gonna put them to sleep. That 70-yard run, we're up 13 because Jake Elliott missed 2 extra points.
Yeah.
And then Vic Fangio's like, oh, let me do that thing I did against the Falcons where we just like don't want to give up the big play, but we'll give up 80 yards in a minute. I'm like, please stop. You gotta fucking stop, please. Vic, just keep calling the defense like it's tied. That's the only way they can play. I'm telling you, it's so bad. And my dad's like, it's over, pussy, it's over. It's over. I'm like, they're going to score, and then they're going to get the ball back because we're going to go 3 and out like really quickly, I bet. Watch.
I'm just going to say
And then
this.
they move.
Go ahead.
And then they move the ball, and then Jalen Carter was just like, hey, I got it.
I got
I'll
us.
put this game. I got us. Yeah.
I want to say this, though. I'm a little scared about Jalen Hurts. I'm a little scared.
Yeah. Right.
I don't look.
I'm no. Add this. I'm scared of Kellen Moore and Jalen Hurts because let's just run fucking slants.
Right.
That's all we run. Slant. Let's just run slant. That's cool. There's no screen game really. We don't have a screen game. I would say this, one of the best plays called, and AJ Brown dropped it because of the conditions. I understand. But overall, it's not like this great passing attack. Like I really don't see. And I've talked about this with a long time with him. His offense ain't that great. It's not.
I'm just gonna say this: the Eagles better fucking pray that the Chiefs don't make it to the Super Bowl. Because if the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl, I don't think the Eagles score more than fucking 13 points. I'm telling you that right now. Because mano y mano.
What did you notice our O-line struggles with today?
Pressure. Passing.
Blitz. Yeah.
Pass blocking.
That's what
But part
terrified.
of it is Jalen Hurts. I'm telling you, it's so weird.
Oh, yeah.
It's so weird with Jalen. I said it in our preview. Jalen is so fucking loose. He's so swifty in the open field as a runner. But in the pocket, he's a fucking statue. Yeah. Absolute statue. He cannot move for shit in there. And if you can make him palm that fucking ball, he's going to make bad decisions, number one, and he's going to take safeties like he did today.
Yeah. Oh, no, it wasn't just safeties. It was, we're in field goal range. Let's take ourselves out of field goal range, sack.
Yeah.
And obviously the conditions played a big part in today. Like, let's not be stupid. Both teams played in it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, banged up his knee. The pass offense hasn't looked great. Obviously today you kind of take it with a grain of salt but we rushed for 300 yards and we barely won that game. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And tip my hat to the defense for 3.5 quarters because that one drive I was so pissed. I was like, what are you doing?
I just think
let's not.
When it comes to the Chiefs, they're the last team remaining where I'm comfortable with Trey McDuffie got AJ Brown. Like I'm confident in every matchup.
No, I want to play Buffalo. I don't want to play the
Buffalo,
Chiefs. I'm like, dude,
you can do that bullshit.
The Chiefs will do. Yeah, the Chiefs will put us in that like they're too creative. We are not creative enough. We have 4 run plays. You saw them today. You saw all 5 run plays. Tell me if you saw a different run play. And by the way, do you ever see us use our jet motion ever? Like we're like, oh, we'll give it to the guy.
No.
Never do. It's just there.
Yeah, it gets kind of stagnant. I don't know what it is, man. But hey, they won the game. Shout out to the Rams, though. I thought the
Shout out
Rams.
to Jared Verse. You talk shit, but you played your ass off. You
Yes,
did.
he did. I think the Braden Fisk injury was big too. He wasn't able to really go in this game. I think that would have been a big difference.
Quinyon was big too.
Yeah, yeah. Look, if I'm an Eagle fan, people were mad last week. I'm a little bit more concerned after this week, and just maybe not against the Commanders. Go ahead, fucking. I'm not saying you are, but hey, Eagle fans, if you want to say backup quarterback, I'm not worried about the Commanders. We're gonna beat their ass. Okay, cool. Look ahead, Buffalo and fucking Kansas City. You're not gonna outplay those quarterbacks. You're gonna have to score points. And I'm not confident right now that Jalen Hurts can step back there and throw over 200 yards. Maybe not even 150. I'm not liking what I'm seeing out of the pass offense or out of the offense in general.
It's bad.
And
It's bad.
I'm very interested to see the dynamic of Dan Quinn versus Kellen Moore, two guys that were on the same staff in Dallas. Dan Quinn knows Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore knows Dan Quinn. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Tough look for the Rams, though. Anything on them as far as maybe this is their last run? Stafford's not getting any younger.
I think they will continue to get stronger. To be honest, I think they can draft and get more talent. Because I mean, you look at this team on defense. Do you really think, wow, look at that talent everywhere?
Right.
Not really. They're well coached. They play hard. But come on, they're defensive backs. Their corners specifically. Are you like, ooh, wow, that guy's good? No, they're not. They're just well coached. They can't really play man. The D line is their best part of their thing. The linebackers are kind of They need offensive line help. They could use a receiver. They're gonna have some money to spend, and they're gonna have draft picks, and I think they'll just get better on. Don't you?
Most likely. We'll see what happens with the quarterback position. I don't know if Stafford.
I mean, yeah, if Stafford hangs it up, you're there in deep shit.
Right.
Yeah. If he goes again, and he's still really good, still one of the best guys in the league.
We'll see what happens to Cooper Kupp. I think Cooper Kupp is definitely a trade guy. We'll see how they treat him. He is Cooper Kupp. Deep ties with the Rams. We'll see how they feel about that. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But we got Philly, we got the Commandees, we got Buffalo, and we got Kansas City. It's exciting to see. We'll see if we can get a preview up to you guys for this week. It'll probably be a short one. We'll see how me and Max's schedules are this week. We do have Monday as a holiday, so a lot of you guys are off. Me and Max are unfortunately working. Yeah, That's what I'm saying. You working too?
Barely.
This fucking guy.
Hey, last thing. My last thing before you can let us go. Ohio State or Notre Dame?
Ohio State.
I'm going the Ohio State. Yeah, F Notre Dame.
Yeah, not even close. I think they're gonna blow them out. Anyway,
I hope so.
Anything else on divisional round weekend, Max?
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Fucking hate you. All right.
Yeah,
but
too.
Hey, the good thing is I got 3 teams to root for. I don't mind if the Eagles win. I don't mind if the Commandees win, and I don't mind if the Bills win. Just don't let the Chiefs win. Fuck them.
If the Buffalo goes to the Super Bowl versus the Eagles, I'm gonna be like, Josh, no. I want Josh Allen to win.
Me too. I'm the one team I'm pulling for is Buffalo. Second, Commandees. Third, Eagles. I'm really pulling. Yeah. I want Buffalo to win. I want Josh to win.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
All right, guys. I think that's gonna do it. We hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to hit the subscribe button on the channel. All right. Make sure to hit that like button. Comment down below any thoughts, opinions that you guys have. Hey, what do you guys think of legacy? What do you guys think of Lamar, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, refs, all the fucking above, bro? Everything. All right. Let us know. Max, any last words?
No. Have a good week, guys.
All right, guys. We out. Peace.
Everything ain't what it seems. Glittering gold, both bling. Not on my team. This organic, we don't buy.